I know a guy with the only important words Artemus Bridge uttered these days. All of his conversations with those words were a carefully choreographed dance routine, each step planned out in advance with only rare deviations from his expectations. Before those words came the usual bullshit, the greetings, the give and get probing Bridge used to determine if the prospective client was a cop trying to entrap him or a legitimate person with an illegitimate need. After those words, the dance was all details, the who is and the where wills and all the rest of the important minutiae that would get the job done. But I know a guy. Those were the focal point of Bridges' life. Those words were the music that drove the dance.
Hello, my name is Gary Ballard, and I am the independent author of the critically acclaimed cyberpunk series, The Bridge Chronicles. Almost 7 years ago, I started the Chronicles as a blog, serializing the first novel, thinking it would be a good way to promote myself as an author to both agents and traditional publishers. Along the way, I created the character of Artemus Bridge, this amoral fixer of near-future Los Angeles, who just really took hold of me because he's just fascinating. And from that blog, the story grew to this series that includes 4 novels and a compilation of short stories that have been enjoyed by thousands. I've watched the indie publishing movement grow from this kind of backwater, backroom, you don't talk about it, vanity press, to a really significant part of the current literary world. But even with indie books making up a significant portion of Amazon sales, life as an indie author still doesn't pay that well. But now, thanks to Patreon, authors such as myself can start a real dialogue with their fans, and the fans can support their authors in a tangible way, financially. Now, I'm offering this patronage for the Bridge Chronicles website, which is found at bridgechronicles.com. As a patron, you'll get new stories every month. I'll write at least one story every month, and patrons will be able to see the stories before they ever even go through the editing process. That's right, you'll get the stories hot off the presses, right in the rough draft form. You'll actually see the creative process as it takes shape. It'll be like watching over Da Vinci's shoulder, if Da Vinci was this lone asshole writing cyberpunk fiction on the internet. So you'll really be more like Da Vinci's 5th intern that he never talked to and just referred to as Luigi, even though his 4th intern kept telling him his name was Giuseppe. But never mind that, this isn't Da Vinci. This is gritty, noir, near-future cyberpunk, starring everyone's favorite amoral fixer, Artemus Bridge. If you've read my work, you probably already love the guy, even though he's a real dick. And if you haven't, well, pop on over to thebridgechronicles.com. You can read samples of all the novels that have been published, as well as most of the stories that make up the compilation Tales from the Bridge Chronicles Volume 1. If you like what you read, consider becoming a patron or buying one of the already established books. Once they're all done, all of these stories will be compiled as Tales from the Bridge Chronicles Volume 2, which will then be sold as an ebook and potentially a paperback. But you'll get it first. As my patrons, you'll see it as it takes shape. Thank you, and thank you for your support.